Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Stuck in Middle Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Uncle AK.
Hey, I'm one of your hosts, Reflex. How you feeling, bruh?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. I like the colors, bro.
I copied you today.
Yeah, man, because when I walked in here, you didn't have on that stuff, man. You just went on right there.
I just went to church. I was like, let me match today. Last week, you had on the shorts. I was trying to convince you to, put some pants on. But yeah, it's your life. You do it how you want.
It was hot, bro.
I respect it, man. I respect it. How you feeling, though, bruh?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
How's your week
Monday.
been?
Hey, wait, what happened today? I can't remember. All I know is, man, I'm excited for this guest today.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
First things first, though, you know what I'm saying? Got to shout out the sponsors, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank everybody who's, like I said, Stuck in the Middle Podcast is sponsored by advertising. And we thank our sponsors, especially Perfect Office Solutions, for providing us with a platform. Hit them up. Let them know we sent you. Use promo code SITM Podcast. You get 10% off of your leads. They provide affordable, professional, and flexible private office space, for entrepreneurs in the DMV area. So I really wanted to shout that out. And also, if you're listening to the podcast, whatever stream you're listening to, YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Google Play, tell your friends about it on social media. You know what I mean? It helps us. So help us help you help us. You know what I mean? Bruh, who we got in the building today?
Hey, man, today in the building. Well, by the way, first things first. This person we had in the building today, you know what I mean? Like, I had the opportunity to meal prep with her. Hey, bruh, that lifestyle is hard, though. I don't know about others, man, but that lifestyle is hard because I felt like something was missing from my body. Like, something was missing. Like,
how long did you do it for?
A whole week.
A whole week?
Yeah, a whole week. And I felt like I'm missing, probably an arm because I didn't eat the right stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if keep doing it, for like 6 months, something would change. I'm not sure. I don't know. She's gonna let us know today.
Well, we had what's his name last week. She said, when you take something out, you gotta replace it.
Right.
I feel like not to hype it up too much. She's incredible in the sense that she has found a niche and she's filling it perfectly.
Yeah.
And man, like, let them know we got a building, bro.
Listeners and watchers, she's a health enthusiast. Damn, that's a big word. And future licensed nutritionist who is on a mission to improve the health of our African community, both in the diaspora and back home. Please help us welcome Tatiana to the Stuck in Middle Podcast.
Hey.
Welcome to Stuck in Middle Podcast, yo.
Thank you. Finally.
AKA LadyCamer.
She said finally.
What do you mean finally?
Because I was just waiting on you.
You're just waiting. You gotta shoot your shot. Slide in DMs. Shoot your shot. You know what I mean? Like,
let's say if you want it, go for it.
Go for it. You feel me?
You're right.
Nah. Thank you for honoring the invitation and actually being here. Yeah, I'm looking for. This is one of the few, probably the only episode that I haven't done research.
Why not?
Because I just feel like I know it's good, and I come with the blitz.
All right, we'll see.
Loaded.
Oh man!
Now, before those who are listening, right?
Did you do your research?
Hey, I did my research. I don't know about him, but I did my research. So we're gonna see how this go.
I got questions as a guideline because we like to keep it professional. But for those who are listening who don't know who Tatiana is, who is Tatiana?
Tatiana is evolving. If I tell you who Tatiana is today, this Tatiana would be a different person in 12 weeks. But Tatiana is basically a health enthusiast, and I love health and wellness. I love my African people, and I am so interested in figuring out what our problems are and also putting together the solution. So I am part of the solution instead of complaining and fussing about the things that are going wrong in our community health-wise. So that's who I am.
What problems do we have as African community, Cameroonians, Nigerians, Ghanaians, when it comes to health?
When it comes to health, there is a prevalence of diabetes, hypertension. I don't know if you know, it's in my family. Like, my mom has, I don't even need to go far. I'm going to keep it really close. But a lot of us have family members with serious chronic conditions, and they've been battling it for years, and they necessarily don't even have the right tools to do that or the resources. So I decided to start this platform where I will create those tools and serve my community.
I mean, like, following your progress, let's say all the way back from 2010 or 2009, we've seen a steady growth you know, from healthy eating to exercise and all that. Like that just don't come overnight. You know what I mean? And also being consistent, you know, like it's key, but it's hard for most people. Like for me personally, the workouts, I mean, I don't want to wake up in the morning and having to
Be sore.
be sore, you know.
Yeah.
Not able to lotion my body, you know, right? Because my joints are killing me. You know what I mean? So
it's a good
It's
sore
good
though.
for you.
It
It's
feels
good
good.
for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I don't know about all that.
Well, if you do it consistently enough,
Yeah.
you will reap the benefits of it, and you would not the soreness. You would look forward to it.
Anyways, how did all this come about? Like, take us all the way back
Ah, Lord.
to you know, working out, doing meal prep, actually doing Health Up with Tatiana.
I've always been interested in health. When I came to America in 2003, when I came here, I was very slim, and then literally within a year, you know, we had a lot of food, a lot of Popeyes, a lot of white rice and stew. I barely even remember ever eating things like broccoli or all those American vegetables.
Yeah.
Once in a while we'll do spinach and things like that. So I blew up. Like I was a little chunky, and they used to call me Blisfsull in the house. So
That's not a compliment.
it's not a compliment. And I didn't take it lightly. So I got teased in middle school, not for my weight. Well, a little bit for my weight, but mainly for my hair. And it kind of stuck with me, and I didn't really have an outlet. I didn't really know how to deal with it, and those weren't really conversations I could have with my dad. Like, oh, dad, like they teased me in school because of my hair. Like, okay, we'll plait that now. we'll braid it up or something. So we didn't really have those conversations. But then when I got to high school, I just used my brain. Like I was very smart, so that was the one thing that at least I knew I was good at. So, but then I decided to fight back, and I decided my own way of fighting back was to regain my self-confidence. I had a very low self-esteem and negative body image and self-perception. So to build that up, I figured, well, maybe I should play soccer. So I started playing soccer. I was very good at it. The next year I was the captain, and after that I decided to join the track team and push myself even more, and that's when I really changed, because soccer was it was okay, but when I started sprinting, I threw up one day after school because of the lunch.
School lunch.
I could see the pizza, the chicken nuggets, the fries, everything. So it was terrible. So from that day, I went home and I went online and I started Googling healthy meals for a track, you know, and that's how I mean, I was young. Nobody else could really relate to me, because everybody in the house, I was cooking. So I would cook like the usual rice and stews and the easiest things, right? Because mom and dad were working hard and taking care of business. So I decided to start taking lunch to school every day, and I would take whole wheat bread and pear. So that's all I would take to school, and then I would skip lunch and I would go to my favorite English teacher's class and eat it there, so no one would like bother me or ask me questions like, "Hey, why are you doing that?"
Eat your rice and stew.
Exactly. So I just ate my sandwiches for lunch, and when I would go to the track, I would feel good. I lost a good amount of weight. I regained my self-confidence, and that's when I started learning about, I have power. There's something that I could do, and exercise is a way. And I started learning that the way I eat affects my body. I performed a lot better, to a point where I was even like, they had to put me to do like the sprints and super long distance, and I felt really great about it. By the time I graduated high school, I lost my dad tragically. So then it was terrible. Grief. We didn't really talk much about it at home. So I didn't really, once again, I had graduated. So I didn't really have track practice anymore. I didn't even know like how to even let go of those emotions or do something about it. Barely talked about it. So, you know, I went back to the usual easy food comfort. And my thing that time was cheesecake. And you reflex, you should remember.
I don't remember nothing. I'm just kidding.
Sticky
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
reflex used to bring me. You brought me cheesecake, right?
Quite a number of times.
Yeah, because that's
I
all.
was feeding into the.
Look, that's all I wanted. Like, if you wanted to make me happy, you just give me cheesecake and the big round. Like, I would murder that joint in like 2 days.
So let me ask you this: in this journey and the brand is African Women Health to Wellness, or Journey to Wellness. Did your family and friends understand what it is that you were trying to accomplish, or like did you bother explaining, or do you still go face that?
They didn't understand. In fact, everybody was just looking at me like, she's different,
What's going on here?
Right? Like, okay, she's probably just going through it. But I went through my own phases and things like that. But dealing with grief, I went off to college. As I overate, of course, I put back on all that weight that I had lost in high school and maintained. So college, I had to deal with freshman 15 as soon as I became a freshman. So I had to deal with like those situations again. Then
and this is because you're African.
I wouldn't say it's because I'm African. I think
from at home, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you trying to lose weight,
No, it wasn't. Nobody really knew I was trying to lose weight. Nobody even understood or even realized that I was overeating and I was emotionally eating. So, and that's actually an eating disorder. Nobody really knew that. But when I went off to college, I started studying a little bit more, and then by my sophomore year, I started working out again. That's when I started trying out different diets and different things, and I became a vegetarian, then vegan, and that's when everything hit the fan. That's when my family was like, my mom was like, hold up. So you don't eat meats. Her biggest thing was, which man will marry you? Like, do you plan to get married? Which man will marry you if you don't eat meat? And she just didn't understand that concept. But I had watched a lot of documentaries on, like Food Inc. and all those things that educated me on where our meat comes from and how processed foods like affects our body. So I was hip. I've been hip a long time ago, but and I didn't understand, like, why don't you guys get it? It was so frustrating. But I would stop, and then I was like, nah, this thing is still part of me. Even in school, all my internships that I did was based on, like, it had something to do with nutrition and fitness. So, and I would hit the gym, and then I shaved off my hair. So it was like, no, don't get too muscular. Your hair's already short. You're already eating. Like, you're just extreme with it, but nobody really understood where that was coming from. And I had to battle with my family for a little while, but years later, 2016, it was just a turning point for me. I was like, you know what? I decided to push myself even further, and I started exercising at home, and I lost even more weight. And everybody was like, whoa, what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, you good? That's when people started saying, wow, like, okay, wow, she's doing something good for herself. And then people started asking me questions, and that's where HealthUp with Tatiana was born. And I just said, you know what, there's something in me. I need to start sharing that information with people, damn what anybody says. And my family got on board. My mom, who has diabetes and all these chronic conditions, I was like, I can help you. And I used to live in Texas, so I decided to move back to Maryland to help her with that. And now she's like my biggest fan.
Oh, wow.
So family always comes around, and she's my guinea pig. My second client.
With the issue of looking too muscular, like walking around looking like a brick, how did you deal with that?
That backlash,
Yeah.
At first, of course, like, it got to me. But since I worked out, I was just like, I just worked off those emotions, that steam. I was very angry, so I worked it out. But I got to a point where I was just like, F it. Like, if anyone had anything negative to say about that, I just didn't care. And I've just been like that. And my goal is just to empower women to look however they want to look. Like, it's our choice. What does how I look have anything to do with anything? Right. It's just your body.
So let me ask you a typical stuck in the middle question. Like, and this is what I was going with. When I mentioned because you're African.
Okay.
in the African, community, men love women luscious, thick and full, big. And here, in the diaspora in the West, it's like now you got to be thin, that thin waist.
Yeah.
You've been caught in both worlds,
Yeah.
or even three. You have your own personal image of how you want to look.
Absolutely.
How do you advise women to break out of that mindset?
Right now, I just tell women, like, love your body as it is. If there's something you want to change about your body, like, you're in your body 24/7. You're the one that sees your body in the mirror. You see yourself in the mirror every single day. How do you want it to look? And don't base it off of, the American standard of beauty or the African standard of beauty. What is your standard of beauty? Set your own standard of beauty, and whatever makes you happy, be that. For me, my standard of beauty is being fit and being strong and feeling beautiful. Like that's what does it for me. And that may not be the next thing, that may not be it for the next woman, but that's on her.
Right.
So I'm not gonna look at her and compare myself to her. I just want to be my best self. So whatever that best self is, whatever that standard is that you set for yourself, that should be it. And as far as like being African and looking all muscular and stuff, I don't blame any comments that I get from Africans because, they're not exposed to that. They're not used to that. So I can't, like, a gentleman from Cameroon posted under one of my pictures after working out, and he said, man or woman.
Eesh.
And yeah, I was gonna flip on him and lay it out on him, but I was like, wait, I don't even blame him. He's in Cameroon. He doesn't see this. So I use that as a point to educate him. Like, a lot of my friends just went ham and they were like going off on him, but I was like, no, like, listen, yeah, I may look strong, but I still like my doors to be opened. I still, I can still cook, I clean, I'm a woman, and I'm soft and pink. So don't just look at the outside and judge me or, try to figure out who I am. It's what's in the inside that really matters. And he replied in private and apologized. I said, if you said that in public, you should apologize in public, but you're forgiven. So I bet you he would never say that again to another woman. And I told him,
that was a learning, moment for him. Yeah.
Don't ever make a woman feel less than or question how she looks,
and vice versa. Yeah, but
I'm glad you said that one thing.
Your brother DJ Brock, shout out to DJ Brock. One thing he compliments you about a lot is your ability to focus.
Aww.
He said you're very driven, determined.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do these values, play a big role in HealthUp with Tatiana?
Man, you get a lot of things from your parents, your family. My mom doesn't even know that I got that from her, and both my dad too. My dad was a very focused person. He was an educator, so when he wanted to do something, he was a risk taker. So if he wanted to do something, he would go all out. So I got that from them, and it impacts HealthUp with Tatiana because that's just one of my values. If I focus on my community and if I focus on myself and say, I'm my first client, I'm going to transform myself so other people can see it and know that it's possible. That does it for me.
Right.
So.
Where is HealthUp with Tatiana right now as far as like what, we've gone down in it, and what is it like? If somebody was like, dang, that sounds great, I want to walk into an office or go online and like like what is it right now? How are you targeting these women? Is it like a one-on-one consulting kind of thing, or?
So it is evolving, and it's as I'm discovering myself, HealthUp with Tatiana is changing as well. And right now I'm servicing everyone, but I do want to focus mainly on the women. Sorry guys, but
it's okay.
What's up with anyways, continue.
It's okay.
So I'm focusing on the women right now because if you change a woman's life, she can impact
plenty
way more
generations
people's
to come,
lives,
right? Kids,
so that's why I'm focused on women right now. And I've realized that I do need to specialize more because there are a lot of solutions. I can choose to stick with diabetes, women with diabetes. I can choose to stick with young moms who are trying to regain their self-confidence, lose the baby fat, and feel great about themselves, right? And have energy to take care of their families. I can choose to focus on young girls and teach them body image issues, how to eat, and all those things. Or I can do all of it. But being a jack of all trades won't get me anywhere. So anyone that needs my help, I will help them. But I am getting to a point where I'm trying to decide what my target market is and focusing on that and build specific solutions. So I would want that if my target market is young women that just have kids, right? Or in their 30s, whenever they read any post, they're like, that is for me. Like, that's speaking directly to me. So a young girl wouldn't really relate to that, so she wouldn't get value.
Last week we had Chef Nicole on the podcast. Shout out to Chef Nicole. If you ever watched that episode, you should check it out. It was really dope. She made mention of women being, like they should wear confidence. That's the only way, you could truly, truly be a woman. Like, what's your take on that?
It's definitely true, because everybody tells you, or everybody tells women what to be, what to wear, what to do, how to dress, or how to look, or how to feel about themselves. I don't think women are empowered enough, even in their own homes. So women just have a disadvantage in a certain way. So for me, I tell women, you have to be, like I said, once you set that standard for yourself and you're confident in who you are and what you're about, everything would fall in place.
Right.
But nobody can tell you who you are. Only you can determine that for yourself.
That's facts. I want to switch subjects a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you are layered, you know what I'm saying? We can come back to HealthUp. We are going to come back with HealthUp, but Blissful Braids by Tatiana. Everything's by Tatiana.
It is, right?
The branding.
Yeah.
Blissful Braids by Tatiana. We're seeing a comeback right now.
Yes, there is a comeback.
Yeah. Why did you walk away from it, and why a comeback right now? First of all, what is Blissful Braids by Tatiana?
Blissful Braids I've been braiding since I was 9 years old. I've always been interested in braids. My cousin, Sheila Njonga, shout out to you. That's my big sister in Cameroon. She used to braid. She was a beast, yo. Like, she would braid so well, and I was so intrigued. I didn't like toys. I didn't like all that girly stuff, but all I wanted was just a doll with hair so I could practice. And once I got that was it. So I would watch her, I would copy her. Then before I came to America, my dad took us to a shop, my sister and I. She didn't really like it. Gail didn't like it. She hated braiding. So she would sometimes just bribe me a little bit and then go hang out with her friends. And I was so diligent. I was like, no, I'm going to stay here, and I was going to work. So I learned a lot. By the time I came here, turned 13, I had clients. I was getting paid. So I've been working since I was 13.
Securing the bag.
Yeah.
That braiding bag is big too.
So, and I would do hair, and I would do Gael's hair. I would do everybody's hair, and then when I realized Gael didn't really like it, and she wasn't hooking me up with the styles that I really wanted, I said, I forget you. I started doing my own hair and just practicing like that. And over the years, it just became a thing. And one thing for me was that I always put my clients first. And I was just doing it for fun. It was just a passion. But now for me, it's it's part of me. It's I came back to it because after rediscovering myself and going to Texas and just finding and evolving and becoming my full self, I wanted to be aligned with the work that I'm doing. And hair is very much a part of me. You need a lot of patience. A lot of patience to braid hair. So, and I naturally have that. And now I'm trying to find a way to combine health and hair. So I don't just want it to be about, hey, my client is going to come, I'm going to do their hair. No, it's going to be a way for me to talk about health.
Oh, that's clutch. You got a captive audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it's wait, I'll start educating. I already educate my clients. What you eat affects your hair. Your hair is breaking out. Your hair is not really growing. Well, have you tried this? Instead of trying all these products that, people are creating, change your diet. How about you add this to your food? How about you eat more leafy greens? Do you work out? Do you exercise? So educating women on how to look beautiful. So I guess I'm all about transformation. So, and that's what my life has been about. So I'm just putting the pieces together and transforming women.
This guy, what is this guy thinking?
Man, I'm sitting here listening, right? Like everything is eat healthy because of this, eat healthy because
It's
of
all
that.
connected.
Versus y'all gonna tell me to eat healthy because of my fingernails and toenails.
It does,
which will be a good thing
affect
for some people.
It does.
You know,
It does,
but,
yeah.
but
But Blisfsull Braids is where can people trying to do their hair? It's prom season right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yes. And I only do braids, and I decided to stick with braids because
Hey, I didn't know that.
I only do braids. I don't do weaves. I don't do wigs because it's just like you said, when you want to do something that is authentic to you and that aligns to you. If you see me in a weave or a wig, I mean, I'll probably look good, but it's not me. It's not really me. So at my core, I love this traditional ethnic hair, and I'm not really into like the Western, you know, because I believe braids should speak. Braids should spark conversation and curiosity.
Yeah.
So every time I wear my hair in braids, somebody asks me a question. Hey, what is that? That's yarn? Oh my gosh, how did you install it? Like, to me, that's a moment of education, you know?
so if I see walking
So I
down
like
the street with weave, I'd be like, hey, fake Tatiana, what's up? Fake Tatiana, what's up?
Blisfsull Braids on Instagram.
Yes,
All
it's
right.
on Blisfsull Braids by Tatiana. It's on Instagram, and you can book me on Style Seat. But go check out my Instagram. And I think if you're gonna get a client, select a braid artist, you should have that trust, and you'd be able to tell from the Instagram how they feel or how they treat their clients.
How much is like one session, you know, braid and stuff?
Braids, it depends. But if
And
they
what
go
the size
on
of your
Style
head?
Seat, they'll be able to see all my prices.
Who?
Style Seat. It's a booking. It's like an appointment booking.
And they can find
website.
all that on your
They
Instagram.
can find
Yeah.
all of that on my Instagram. There's
Blisfsull
a link.
Braids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I want to ask you this. I don't know if you saw this. Bloomberg news reported 43% of millennials plan on quitting their jobs in the next 2 years, and it's not because of pay. Surprisingly, it's because of diversity and inclusion in the workspace. And you are currently in the place in life where you're trying to get out of corporate America.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that first, and I got a follow-up question.
Yeah. So I love my job. You know, I really appreciate what I do. I work with a lot of phenomenal people, and my job I've met people that are helping me with HealthUp with Tatiana and Blisfsull Braids, you know, in one way or another, because IT is going to stay, you know, so it's like the way forward. And I've decided that I want to leave corporate America because it doesn't align with who I am. Number one, if I'm gonna make a greater impact on women's lives, I need to be available. Spending 8 hours in a place where I'm not really serving the people that I really know at my core that I need to be serving, it's kind of traumatizing.
Yeah,
but
training.
so right now I just feel like I'm doing it for the money. You know, it's just a means to an end for me, and that's why I'm looking forward to leaving. I'm planning my escape.
Should we
right
all,
now.
you know, say like, I want to say 90% of, you know, people we talk to
Whoa,
here.
that's a high number. 90% of people quitting the jobs. No.
Okay, but
That's
it's a high
very
number. Yeah. But should we all quit our jobs?
No, not everybody is fit for
Right.
the entrepreneur lifestyle. Not
No.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
you know,
it
not everybody is.
Some
about
people
that
are
life.
leaders, some people are followers.
Exactly.
You just have to know which one you are.
And some people
you know.
do great in corporate America.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. Because number one, I know if I leave corporate America, I'll be able to exercise with my mom. Like her health will change even dramatically if I'm able to do that. Then I can focus on my businesses and growing that and really providing more value to my target audience.
For somebody who's thinking about, they're right now in a position like you are, you know, have different passions that they're trying to juggle and set themselves up with. How are you personally setting yourself up for that success and make sure, you know, so when you leave, it's like, dang, I'm struggling, I got to go back.
So I'm planning. I'm working so hard. Like, you have to work hard. You gotta hustle. Like right now, I'm working 2 jobs, and I'm in school, and I'm doing HealthUp with Tatiana. You know, and I still have to take care of myself. So it's like, just know this is like hustle season. There's hustle season, but it will pass. So I'm braiding on site to regain my clientele and rebuild that business while working towards rebuilding or really like building something major for Health Up with Tatiana, and rounding up with school and working and just so I can save money to leave. So you are going to work, and I'm reading a lot. I listen to a lot of podcasts. AK put me on to podcasts. Listen, if you want to learn anything, podcasts are the way to go. Like, oh
Preach.
My goodness. Like, my commute, I don't even listen to music anymore.
Right.
Like, my commutes are just podcasts. Like, I can get home and stay in the car for another hour because I'm like, I don't want to stop this podcast.
Yeah, she pulled up mad early, fam. She was sitting outside. Yeah, I
was listening to a podcast. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna come in here until I finish this podcast.
There's something therapeutic about when you pull up home, just sitting in the car for like a good minute.
Yeah.
Just even if it's silence or it's podcast, there's something therapeutic about it.
I got creepy neighbors. They're called the cops.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, your neighbors are a different level. Bro.
Yeah, I got creepy neighbors. They call the cops. It's like literally one time I pulled up and I was in the car. Next thing you know, it's bloop bloop. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to chill. I can't sit in my own car now. Like,
what
that's
podcast
crazy.
do you listen to?
I listen to this podcast called.
Hey, you better start with Stuck in the Middle.
Of course, I listen to Stuck in the Middle. I started listening to Stuck in the Middle. Now the one that I'm hooked on is called Wellpreneur, and it's by Amanda Cook. This lady, she's literally like, she interviews like different people in the health and wellness industry and their journey, and boy, like I have been learning a lot. Like it's information overload. Like I would be on the road driving and I have my notebook and I'm driving and taking notes. Like that's juicy. I'm sorry, that's how juicy in traffic.
Just do time codes. Do time codes.
Yeah.
Do time codes like 15, 30, and then you go back and listen and write it out for you.
And I do I listen to podcasts like over and over. I don't do that all the time, but you know when something just, and like I swear like that has caused me now. I like sometimes I can't even sleep at night because the ideas are just flowing, and I just have my notebook beside my bed, and I'm like I would wake up at 3 a.m. because I've dreamt of something or thought of something and take down and write it down before I forget, because I would forget.
It's like Jay-Z said when he was writing the 444 album, like he would sleep and the idea came, like he would wake up in the middle of the night and write it down.
It's so dope. It's so dope when
that's when you invested in your craft and stuff.
Like I'm all in. Like now I'm all about transformation and alignment, and I want to make sure that everything that I touch is aligned to who I am and what I'm trying to do.
So who do you look up to? Who motivates you?
Who motivates me?
Yes, sir.
I would say honestly, I do this for my mom.
I do this for my mom.
Yeah, like she doesn't motivate me in that. Okay, like she pushes me like, okay, not like I believe in you. Like do this. No, I do it because, and I do it because I don't want our generation to deal with the same issues that they're dealing with, the baby boomers are dealing with right now, and I don't want the upcoming generation to even deal with the things that we're going to be facing if we don't change our lifestyles.
Let me ask you this serious question. Right. Earlier you mentioned about, losing your dad at an early age, and you had to, hold this
internal.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So being that your mom is diabetic, right? And you said you do this for my mom. Are you trying to picture a life without her? That's why you're trying everything possible to make sure that she's good while she's here right now? Or better yet, you see the Western medicine, like people popping 5-6 pills at the same time, and you're like, nah, I think that's a faster way to go out than eating healthy. Like is there a similarity there?
Honestly, I never even thought about it like that. But I do it because to me, I feel like popping pills is like, it's kind of slavery. Like there's no freedom in that. Like my mom can't travel to Cameroon without, her insulin. That's like, that decreases the quality of your life. If you go to Cameroon right now, she would have to figure out, okay, I have to put this in the fridge, or the ones that you don't put in the fridge is more expensive. So I just want my mom to live an easier life. She's getting older, and I believe the older you get, the sicker you don't have to be, and I just want her to be to live healthier and live better.
They say prevention is better than cure.
Always. Always. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, it's around there.
You struggled. Deep. I see where you struggle.
It's around there. It's around there.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this though: what is success to you?
Whew. Man, jeez. Okay, success to me is, is being aligned. Total alignment.
What does being aligned mean?
Being aligned means everything that you do, like your work, the way your character, the things that you do, just your activities, it matches it, like
Blisfsull Braids.
Let me help you with this one.
Having a captive audience.
Your car, if all 4 tires are not aligned,
yeah, exactly,
you can't drive straight.
Exactly. Yeah, man, give me.
I got you, man. I got you.
That's perfect. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. So for me, everything is connected, but everyone is unique. So if you find your niche, you can be interested in different things, but if you can find a way to align all of them to your core, to your true person, then to me, alignment is like, I'm into transformations. So hair, that's a form of transformation. Health, total transformation. Mind, body, all of that.
Have you experienced failure then, and what is failure to you, and how? I mean, you've overcome a lot. But we're talking about Blisfsull Braids or HealthUp with Tatiana, or I'm sure you will when you. I hope not. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. Have you experienced failure? And what is it to you?
I'm just getting started, so I know I will experience failure, and I look forward to failures because failures are lessons. So I look forward to learning.
So, where's HealthUp with Tatiana right now in Blisfsull Braids, and where do you see it in 5 years?
From now, I'll start with Blisfsull Braids. So Blisfsull Braids is where I'm rebuilding that brand. I'm rebuilding the business, and Blisfsull Braids is now finding a way to connect health and hair so women can really truly take care of that aspect of their life, because we all like to look beautiful, right? In the next 5 years, I see Blisfsull Braids. Oh my gosh. I see Blisfsull Braids everywhere. In a couple of places, and I see women not only coming there for just to get their hair done. I see them coming there for an experience. So for a transformation, where it's like you come in feeling one way and you're leaving like, oh my God, I feel beautiful. And not only that, but people don't understand that when somebody stands on top of your crown, there's energy. Everybody has energy, so it's like you have to be careful who's like doing your hair, who's like touching you. I believe in that. So it's just Blisfsull Braids will be an experience. It would be a place where you're supposed to be relaxed. Like most of the time you go to beauty shops or hair galleries and they're braiding your hair and you're just in pain and you're like miserable. My perception of Blisfsull Braids is for women to leave there satisfied and transformed and relaxed. So with HealthUp with Tatiana, it may not be called HealthUp with Tatiana. Who knows? I'm serious. Yeah. A lot of transformations going on. So keep up with me. But I see HealthUp with Tatiana providing coaching services, one-on-one group sessions. I see HealthUp with Tatiana getting very involved with the community. That's something I really want to get into. Serving the community by creating, run clubs, I really just want to get our African women out there and exercise, and you guys are welcome to come too. We'll keep it fun. Keep it fun and funky, and
I don't know about the funky part.
So for people who want to follow in this journey, how do they get involved? How do they reach you? This ever evolving journey.
Right now, HealthUp with Tatiana is on Instagram. HealthUp with Tatiana is on Facebook. We're working on the website. We're rebranding. So just, keep up. Follow us on social media. You will get updated on like everything that's coming up. So
in a sentence, if you were to go back 10 years from today, what would you tell yourself then?
It gets better.
It gets better.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah. And one last question,
Sure.
because I know Reflex itching over there.
5 more minutes. I'm just kidding. Yeah, go ahead.
What's the importance? And I know we've talked about this before. Mentorship. What's the importance of that to you?
It's extremely important. Honestly, I wouldn't even be here if not for a mentor that I have. Sandra Kimayu, like I owe her a lot from even getting into the field of IT, even pushing me business wise. It's through the Sandra Kimayu retreat or my Sister's Keepers retreat that Health Up with Tatiana was birthed. So it really empowered me, and I think it's very essential for every woman to attend retreats and find a mentor, find somebody that's doing a great job, that's killing it out there, and someone that you want to emulate and ask them questions. Like, people want to share, believe it or not.
Yeah, if you want to find out more about that retreat, we've actually had Sandra on the podcast,
Yes.
and go look up the episode on YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever you stream the podcast on.
And there is a retreat coming up in September, so it's not too late to sign up.
Yep. Go find out about that with our conversation with Sandra.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, appreciate you coming through, kicking it with us, yo. It's been
My
dope.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's been dope. Come back, down the road and update us and everything.
Yes, I will.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. And please follow us on social media, SITM Podcast. Send us an email, questions, concerns, refers, SITM Podcast 237@gmail.com. And review the show on Apple Music. I'm thinking music. Everywhere. We appreciate it. We love to see the comments and everything. And AK, who we got next week, bro?
Yeah, next week we're gonna be sitting down with the founder of Jelena Consulting to provide IT expertise and deliver advanced solutions in areas of consulting, software, hardware, IT staffing to help businesses and agencies of all sizes lower costs, optimize infrastructure, and accelerate results. And it's no other than Gerald Passy.
Ready out the book. I like it.
Yeah, man.
And man, I'm looking forward to this episode. You know why?
Most def.
Because it's huge right now. It's a big conversation right now, and he's the perfect person to talk about it with. So tune in next week, y'all, and let's get it cracking.
No doubt.
Yeah, Sucking to Me the podcast.
We out.
Yes, sir.